Welcome everybody. This is going to be the sales Q&A for IDX Broker, and we can field some questions regarding agent evolution and equity framework as well. To start off with, going to be just a basic sales Q&A. If you got pre-sales questions, if you have an account, you've got some sales questions on how to implement a couple of things, we can go over a few of those. One of the first questions I got off is, what capabilities does the equity framework add to IDX Broker for WordPress? So the great thing about equity and IDX Broker is equity is built specifically for IDX Broker. So you have a few easier features for posting widgets, pulling over your communities and your pages right into your WordPress dashboard. It does have its own plugin. You can go in and make some changes, but you can also pull over some listings, adding predefined searches or pages or widgets to a post. It's very easy to do now when creating these. Keep in mind, posts and pages are pretty similar, but it's going to be a lot of it inside the IDX shortcode section, where you can pull over listings this way, being able to build widgets off of it, and whatnot. And then go ahead and keep a few more questions coming in so we can kind of stay ahead of things. So for most of you that don't, or some of you that don't know, Agent Evolution was acquired by IDX Broker 2 years ago. They are a theme developer company that develops themes specifically for real estate market, so agents and brokers and offices. To get started about like what Agent Evolution is with the WordPress themes. So there's 6 themes that you can choose from. You can download, install yourself, depending on what your knowledge is with WordPress, or we have it so that we can build out a website to look just like an example website, and then you can get in and add your own content to it and customize it from there. So it's a little bit cheaper solution rather than going with the entire customization, custom website that could cost you, $5,000 to $1,000. This is going to get your URL set up, be able to connect your IDX Broker account, very simple, very easy to do, and get it up and running on your website within less than a week's worth of time after you add in some of your own content. Can you add any template? So adding any themes to Equity Framework, no, these themes are specifically built for Equity Framework. If you have a specific theme you want to use, you're probably fine to just use the Impress plugin through IDX Broker. Everybody, kind of their big thing is SEO, SEO, SEO. They want to be front page. It's very hard to beat a lot of the SEO big game players out there as far as like Zillow, Trulia. It's hard to beat those. They take over that market. We try to really encourage people to create hyper-local content. Start creating pages like your potential buyer might be looking for homes. For instance, if you're in different areas, you're going to have homes for sale in certain, like Northeast Eugene, Springfield homes for sale, West Eugene homes for sale. Try to create pages to basically give your clients a landing page, have pay-per-clicks, drive ads to them. When you create these pages, you can control the SEO, the long tail URLs, creating like your domain. Right now it's set up on an idxbroker.com subdomain. Just because this is a demo account, I don't necessarily need to worry about SEO. But this one here would be like search.jefftrue.com/I, which means that it's a saved link for IDX Broker. And then I can control that long tail URL, Northeast Eugene Homes. When you got to think, like when somebody goes to Google, try to create these pages how your clients might search. Would it be like Northeast Eugene real estate for sale? Try to create those. Add your meta tag keywords and your meta tag descriptions as well. Does Market Snapshot merge with any website? Not 100% sure about Market Snapshot, what they all merge with. On our details pages, you've got the ability to have the find the best area. That's a widget that we have that's going to give some area information, kind of the market trends of the houses. Mine is enabled, so we'll go take a look at some of these here and show you what that will be pulling in. So it does pull in information based off of the zip code. That's where everything comes in from. So you're going to get area information. So the market trends by zip codes, like I said, you get the median home price, the home price index. Kind of shows you what this area about this specific zip code, as far as like what's going to be in there, what schools are around this zip code. So it doesn't narrow it down by each listing what schools they are going to go to. This particular area code, zip code that we did select, it does only have one high school in it. but it does have several middle schools that's not being displayed here that would be displayed here as well. So you got to keep in mind when you do see this kind of stuff, it's not going to necessarily be exact market analysis of this. And I'm not sure with your market snapshot, if you're talking about a specific company, if it can be added. That's something that you'd have to check on their website and find out. Try to go through a couple of tricks that people do like. One thing that people do like to see is, you know, with us and pretty much every IDX vendor that's out there does have MapQuest for their mapping. They do like to see Google's maps show up with WalkScore, which is a free add-on that you can put on your website on all your details pages. You do have the ability for them to display a Google Maps. So you can actually move WalkScore up higher on your details pages so that it does show up a little bit sooner. With inside these boxes, you also do have Street View available. So it's not necessarily an add-on that you have to put in there, but it is in its own little window. So it's a little bit smaller, but that stuff is still available within our solution. Somebody in here that posted a question is looking to add a community web page. So a site based off of a specific community. Is this something that can be doable and display the IDX? Yes, this is something that can be doable. A lot of times what you would want to do is set up a website for a specific community, subdivision, neighborhood, whatever it may be. And on your main IDX Broker account, you would create a widget for that specific neighborhood, community, subdivision, whatever it may be, and add a listings widgets to it. So you can create a predefined search on a widget and post it on that page that you're trying to drive traffic to for that communityname.com. If you want to specialize in that specific market right there, that is definitely something that can be done. What you'll do is create a predefined search widget. I think I've got plenty of them in here, so I'm going to go to Manage just because I already have these. So for instance, I've got Admiral's Cove widget. I've got it in a showcase widget, so we'll preview it so you can see what this widget would look like. So this one here, when you create these, you can say how many listings you want. It can be, you know, up to 100 listings on a showcase widget where you can embed this into any domain that's out here. So you can grab this little embed script, you just take and copy it, and then any website that you're going to put that on, you can just embed that script onto the main front page of the website if you'd like, and it would pull over the listings just as it's displayed right here. If you set that widget to be responsive, no matter what size that website is, it'll fill it in basically the number of rows and number of columns that you want to display them. Hopefully that helps. Keep in mind though, when you do those kinds of things, you create those niche websites, you don't have to have two IDX Broker accounts necessarily. If you want to keep all of your results pages and details pages on that primary domain, you don't want it to leave there, then you would have to create a second account. If you want to keep just the one account and create that niche market with just a showcase window of listings, per the rules of the MLS and IDX Broker, every results and every details page must reside on the main domain set up with the account. So this right here is on jefftrue.com. If I went and created a subdivisionname.com website, specialized, have its own graphics, have its own information, and then I embed this little script to display the listings. When somebody goes to subdivisionname.com, they click on that listing, it's going to go back to a details page on the primary domain. Now keep in mind, once you capture that lead too, you can track the analytic of your client and see where they came from, see what the referring URL is. So you can tell if you're getting traffic from that specific niche website as well, going to your main, capturing your leads. Does the IDX Broker run off the idxbroker.com domain? Can it run off the domain of the website? All IDX pages must reside on a subdomain of the client's domain. So for instance, by default, it will reside on an idxbroker.com subdomain. The reason being is we don't have access into your hosting, into your registrar, to create a CNAME record. So we strongly suggest every account that gets set up to create a custom subdomain. So for example, be like search.jefftrue.com, listings.jefftrue.com, homes, anything you want that first phrase to be, you can set it up that way. Depending on how your domain is set up, if it's set up as just like jefftrue.com and not www, you can actually create that custom subdomain to be www to kind of mask it a little bit so nobody really knows that it's on a subdomain, which www is a subdomain actually. When you do that, that's going to allow you to get all SEO value for all the content that's on the website. So anything that's displayed on a subdomain page, when Google bots crawl it, it's going to recognize because you created a CNAME record in your registrar, and it's going to point back to the root domain. So every results, details page, search page, as well as widgets are indexable, and you will get the SEO credit for that indexed page or content. If you have an account now, you can always switch your account over to a custom subdomain. There is a little bit of work that would need to be done, but it's definitely beneficial to you. Our support team can help you out with that in setting up that custom subdomain. There's a few ways to get a hold of them. You can get a hold of them by phone. You can do it by email, which is help@idxbroker.com. But you also have our knowledge base as well. If you click on support in the top right, it'll take you right to the knowledge base. And we also have a step-by-step tutorial how to create a CNAME record on your name server by going into your registrar. There are different ways for different hostings how to do it. We do have links how to do them for each of these. Like I said, if you do have any questions or you need help doing it, our support team can definitely help you out, and it will definitely help you out when you create those community pages or anything like that for any content that's on your website. Question here says, we have an MLS and graph reports through the MLS are really good. Can they be added to the hyperlocal pages? I believe, yes, you can. It also depends on how it's being displayed. I'm not sure how your specific one is being done. We do have, the ability for your results pages when you create those predefined searches for those market areas where you can add content into a custom subheader. So if you do have a market snapshot of something, yes, you can add it in. It just depends on how it's being done. You can add images. I'm not sure about it being pulled dynamically. I don't know how that would exactly be done, if it's going to be updated frequently or if it's once a month, once a year. But you do have the option to embed or add content through a custom subheader. Subheaders are very easy to deal with within our system. If you have saved links, you would go into your subheaders, save links, and then you have all the specific ones that you want to choose. And then you can add your custom subheader in here. So that might be an option to do that. That might be something our support team needs to take a look at just to make sure how you're pulling it in and how it's going to be displayed. And they can give you a better one-on-one answer based off of how it's being pulled in. So all functions of IDX Broker need to be displayed on a subdomain, so all pages. So search, results, and details pages. You can add widgets into any subdirectory page. That has to be embedded in with an embed script. But other than that, if it's any IDX page, it must reside on that subdomain page. Can you please talk about wrappers? Need to wrap my head around that. So there's a few different things. With wrappers, it's going to be two separate things as far as what your website developed with. Is it with WordPress or is it with an HTML website? With the WordPress and the Impress plugin, it's now going to generate your wrapper for you. So when you go to your dashboard in WordPress, for instance, you go to Impress, you're going to take your API key from your IDX Broker control panel and paste it in here. You'll save your plugin options, and then you'll go down here and you're going to create a global wrapper for your website. You can name it, you update it, and it'll generate this one for you. And then basically what you're going to do is you're going to go in and grab this wrapper URL that it's going to make for yourself. So there's a couple different ways to grab it. I'm going to go kind of a roundabout way to get this. There's other ways it's easier to do this. But you can take and copy this dynamic URL. So you'll copy this dynamic URL and take it into your wrappers dashboard, and you'll paste it right here. Once you make any changes to your IDX Broker account or you make any changes to the website, it will update that wrapper for you. So once you add them to it, you go to your IDX Broker page, you'll see you added stuff to the navigation menu. It may take just a moment to get it to show up. If it's not working immediately, you can clear the wrapper cache. Your system might have cached in the older setting where it's not showing up. Clear your wrapper cache. If that doesn't work, you can always contact us and we can double check and make sure. Other ways, wrappers are going to be done copying the header HTML and the footer HTML from the website. So this is typically what's going to be done by our support team. Once they get everything ready, they will go view the source code, and they're going to copy the header portion and then the footer portion, put start and stop div tags inside there. That way they'll copy the header, clean it up. If they've got a change in the relative URL links, they'll do that, and then they'll go in here and they'll paste the header in here and then separate it and paste the footer HTML. Basically, if it's an account that's not WordPress, they're going to build that initial wrapper for you. So once you make any changes, you can kind of figure out where they put in their start and stop div tags. And if you need to make any changes, you can try to trial and error yourself and make sure it's going to work. If not, we do a second one after the initial setup, just because people are going to be adding pages to their sites, adding content and adding widgets, where they'll do that second one. So this is a little bit more technical on this one. We are going to be having a support Q&A coming up soon, so keep a lookout for that. This would be a great question for that as far as going over the wrappers. If not, I do believe we have on our YouTube channel other ones about working with wrappers and how to create the wrappers as well. Yeah, Turnkey Complete is going to be your IDX Broker Platinum account. For single user account is what it's going to start off with. We will do the initial install. It will look just like one of the example websites. We will get your logo in there, your contact information, your color branding. We'll set up your IDX Broker account, so if you have any featured listings. So a couple of different themes have like a map. Some of them have a quick search widgets, featured listings. So we're going to get all of those in there, get your site set up. But basically, when we get the initial site set up, we're going to give you a staging URL. So you can go on and make all your changes to your website. You can add your pages, add your blog posts, add your content, your images. If you've got an office you want to add to it, you can add all of that onto your website before it goes live. Once you make all those changes, our developer team will actually restructure your URL and move everything over to the live environment. That way, once it goes live, it's ready to rock. So you'll have your account basically within 2 to 3 days, business days I should say. And then after that, it's just a matter of how much time it takes for you to add your specific content to it. If you want to create community pages and whatnot, you can add all that stuff to it. It does come built with Community 1, Community 2, Community 3. You can go in and use those as a placeholder, go change the URL on it, the long tail URL, create the content that's on there, and some of them also have predefined searches already built out where you're going to add your city list to it, and they can start breaking it down prices for you as well. It does come with hosting with WP Engine, comes with a Platinum account, and then you also have chat support. Chat support is going to be good for Agent Evolution and IDX Broker. Alan is the primary one on that. Larry does fill in and help as Alan gets backed up. Both very knowledgeable. Both are going to help you out getting your content up on your website as well. But it is kind of nice to have the chat feature because you can do support for both items within one location. Could all my agents have personalized pages also with Turnkey Complete? Yes, agent roster pages are definitely something that can be done. You would just have to have an IDX Broker account to seat however many agents you have on the website. The office accounts run in tiers. The first tier is 3 to 10 agents. The next tier after that is 11 to 50 agents. So basically, a single user account is $99.99 with hosting and IDX Broker. The next tier is 3 to 10 for the office account, which is going to be $139.99 per month, and 11 to 50 would be $179.99 per month. Each of those pages, an agent can have their own content. Their listings can be pulled in dynamically, so each time the page is refreshed, it will have the newest listings on there. So this is one of the Turnkey Completes. It's a multi-user account. It is broken up into 2 different offices, so it is broken down. So you got the office information on here, and then each individual. So this is an office landing page, and then once you click into an individual agent's web page, this comes with each of them. I'm really hoping he's got content on here. Unfortunately, it does not like he does. So it'd have an image, their name, their contact information, and I can try to find one that's going to have listings on here. Here's a brief description about them. And if they had any listings, it would show them up down here in basically a showcase style grid, so thumbnail grid. That way, once they click on it, they'll be able to go right directly to their specific listings. And if you wanted to, you can also add a quick search widget right inside between, actually it's between the content and the listings here that you can put on there. This does not come with an app, no. There are companies out there that do develop apps that's a specific app for the agent. One that we have is called Snap Development. These are a developer partner of ours. They do build specific apps for you or for your office, depending on what you guys want to take a look at. But this one here, it is an actual available in the App Store. It gives your own image, your own download right in the middle of your screen. You click on it and it pulls up the app separately. It is not typically linked to the your website. With IDX Broker, everything is mobile responsive. So if you've got a mobile responsive site, it's going to automatically shrink the screen down. It'll start stacking up on top of each other as it needs to, and then all of your search results and details pages can also be displayed using that mobile wrapper. So that way, once it's turned landscape, turned portrait, it's still going to fit your screen correctly as well. Does our CRM integrate with Zapier somehow, and we can push leads? So yes, you can push leads into another CRM. Every account offers its own individual API, which you can grab all the lead information. So there are some that already are developed with our API. Some of them are still doing email parsing. So if you go and check these out, so we've got all these ones that are already done with our API integration. So the CRMs actually have to build off of our API. We're not building to suit into other people's CRMs because we're actually providing the data. They're needing to pull the data out. So Real Pro Systems, eMerge, Top Producer. Top Producer is actually built into the the IDX Broker dashboard. So that one's fairly easy to get connected. It's basically your username and password. Leading Agent has API integration. IMAX CRM, Leader CRM, Wise Agent. And then we've got some that are done with email parsing. So you're setting up a separate email for the specific leads that come in. So you've got Follow Up Boss, Realtiva, Infusionsoft, Contactually, and Line and Desk. But yes, so leads are available to be pulled out through our API. Do pricing tiers for developer partners control billing follow the same? Yes, they have to follow the exact same thing. So basically, depending on if it's a light account or a platinum account, what's being billed to an individual agent, a retail client, or what's being billed to a developer's account, those are exactly the same. There's no increase or decrease in the monthly pricing for no matter what tier or what product you're in. Excellent. We'll go ahead and finish this up. Thank you guys for joining me, and we will try and post another Q&A webinar in our near future. You have a great day, everybody.